All right, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video today, we are going to be making a grill insert for a 1940s Ford pickup truck. I'll drop a picture of what it kind of looks like right here. But the whole plan of this video is to try to get, this is that centerpiece that goes kind of below the hood. We're going to try to get some sort of grill insert that kind of goes with the flow of this front end in a sense, and well, kind of bring it from the old age kind of into the new age. So stick around, let's see if we can get this to look custom. All right, so let me tell you the plan, sort of what's going on in my brain. I'm not really good at drawing things out and explaining things, what's going on in my brain. I just got to kind of work it out and you guys kind of come along with me. So grill insert, this kind of goes on the bottom. The hood comes down over top of it, and underneath it's got the grill that kind of comes around and meets the center point. This is the grill insert in the center point. Now, over top of that, the stock version would have had this on the hood, okay? Just some sort of fancy trim that goes over the hood. It was actually the hood latch mechanism. This is no longer being used, but my plan is I want to use this contour. Obviously we need that shape sideways to kind of go with the form of the hood, but I want to use like these, we'll call them little bead rolls, or these scallops here going up, and how it stops and kind of comes around. In the bottom here, you kind of see a solid piece that kind of solid stops and then kind of scallops up, kind of has some little scaling kind of coming up in here on both sides. The idea is to still get a point on the front of this, but still mimic kind of what the hood trim was doing here at the bottom. So almost like it's sitting inside here like this. We won't have the latch, we're not gonna have a Ford logo or anything like that, but kind of like this design, only, well, only to where it's allowed to fit into this insert. So, all right, so the first thing I want to do, I don't want too much metal on the outside of this. As we start shrinking this on the outsides to kind of get that convex shape or concave, depending whichever you look at it. But as we start stretching or shrinking the corners of that, too much material is going to be kind of in my way. So I'm going to kind of find the center point. I do know I'm going to have to come up about an inch or so. So I'll find the center point of the grill, kind of make a mark. And if I kind of roll this over, you can kind of see, well, I should be good on both ends. So this width is pretty good for as far as center to the right and then center to the left. So we'll just kind of mimic that. It looks like 4 inches over there. That's probably more than 4 inches. Basically mirror that and cut that. So it looks like 4 1/4. We'll go 4 1/4. 4 1/4. And then we'll get this thing cut out of here. Just so we're not working with such a humongous piece. Before I cut it also, I'll go ahead and mark it a couple other little lines. What I want to do, where is that center? This piece. So right here, this is the center, right? We're going to come to a point here. That looks like it's about a 1/2 inch. And then every other line after that is 3/4. Yep, it's like 3/4 all the way. So we'll make a 1/2 inch, 3/4, 3/4. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4 lines pretty much coming through. So we know what kind of we're going to do our breaks on. So now I want to be able to bring this solid piece and then nice contour up into it. It kind of breaks up all those lines at the bottom. That's what we're going to be trying to make right there. Bam. Now we need some sort of curvature here, which we can use. Just looks like the cap's gonna do A-OK. All right, so now if you were to look at these kind of side by side or kind of on top of each other, this section here is going to be here. It'll kind of roll up into it, and then these lines there, or those little hills there, or whatever we end up calling this. I'm not sure. There's still no name for these. Humps and bumps. Okay. All right. Cut our little excess pieces off. I need a better light. Let me get a light turned on over here. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do a little couple rolls in this, and hopefully, as we're rolling this, this is the time where I kind of want it to start coat canning or kind of rounding itself off. Because hopefully by the end, we're gonna have some sort of, remember, I've got to get this contour on the sides, and then I've got to get this contour on the front. So I'm hoping as we run this through the bead roller, it's gonna start putting some shape into it. Well, I know it's gonna start putting some shape into it. Not sure how much, depends on how much pressure we're gonna be putting on each of these lines, but hopefully by the end, we're gonna be very close to this. And then to get this contour here, we'll have a flange over here where we can shrink that flange and kind of get that whole panel to start bending, in theory. We'll get it to bend. I went ahead and marked this so for my reference so I can understand a little bit better. Not better, but I don't get confused because there's a lot of lines there. See if that light will help me out. But the center line, I'm going to use basically a 3/8 tipping die. I'll be using I'll go through each one, but then I've got some offsets here, and then here is going to be where I'm going to do a 90-degree flange. So just so I don't get confused, that way I know which I'm going to be switching out to and when to switch out. So, all right, we're going to roll the middle one first, kind of get that one done and kind of work our way on the outsides. And that first one, we're going to use a 3/8 tipping. But on the bottom, I'm going to be using basically this polyurethane bottom die so I can really get into that. Oh man, that thing tough. All right. So what I was saying, I'm going to use the 3/8 tipping die on it because I really want to get this sharp turn here, or sharp edge on the very top. So I really want to get this really tight, and then we want to slowly start stepping out with our offsets. So that bottom polyurethane bushing, or it's not really a bushing, but die, I guess you can call it, or lower form, whatever you want to do it. It allows us to be able to dig in. And so this is a 3/8 on top with the rubber on the bottom. Now before I start it, I want to make sure it's just touching. Now that it's just touching, I'll do it maybe a half turn more. And that rubber die is going to allow it to kind of grab this metal and kind of suck it in. Okay, so once it's started, now I'm going to do 2 more turns after that, maybe 2.5. There's 1, 2, and let's go a half. What that's doing is kind of pushing down on this panel. As I'm pushing in it, it's really starting to curve that panel, and it's going to give me that really nice tip I'm looking for. So As you see, it's starting to really curve that panel. Gave me a nice front tip. So as it starts working itself around, you'll be able to see that that's going to be the center, and we'll work our way out. All right, the next one's going to be some offsets. I'm going to use an inside and then an offset, inside offset and an outside offset. Go back to our reference. All right, we're looking to get this kind of step here. Got one step here, two, about 3 steps going on right there. Now what this should do, this is an inside die and this is an outside. These two together, if I can get you in there, should start creating that step. Now if I want them offset a little bit more, I can not have them touching and kind of bring it out a little bit to kind of give it a longer step, longer swoop, but we're going to go just a little bit off flush, meaning that's flush, we're going to offset it just a little bit. So we'll put the inside one on top because remember, we're doing this panel upside down. So if I do it inside on the bottom, it's going to be opposite of that curve. I'll show you here, opposite of that curve I just did. So inside on the bottom or on the top, and outside on the bottom. Now before I tighten them up, I just kind of get them lined up in their little teeth. That way they kind of get themselves squared. And like I said, I'm going to have it offset just a little bit to let it jog it. All right, so that's what I mean by I've got it just a little bit offset. So if you see that little bit of air, that gap between there, these aren't flush to each other. I'm going to have that step open up just enough to kind of mimic what we're doing over there. All right, get the panel up in here. We're going to be taking the center of this die and running it down this line. Kind of get it started inside. Once I get a little bit of tension on it, if I can find the dang tension. All right, get some tension on it, and then I'm gonna do another, once again, I'm trying to get this panel to really start curving, so I'm gonna do 1, 2, let's go with 1/4. Half's good. Get the pedal over here. Now it should, you see, there's my center line, here's my first roll, or first step on that other piece like I was showing you, and then we'll start another one over here. It's still starting to flex it, so far it's bending the way it should. Overshot my line here and overshot my line there, but it's a test piece. See if we even like this on the car. All right, let me get the flange on there. Now the flange, I'm just gonna be using 90-degree tip. Basically, hopefully to get this flanged all the way down. And then once this is down, I should be able to start shrinking that, get that contour. If you're looking at it this way, I need to flange down. That way when you're looking at this way, you're seeing that flange and we can start shrinking that corner to kind of, turn this to the contour. We're gonna go back to this 3/8 form of tipping die here. We're gonna put that back on top. And I like using the rubber bushing on the bottom because that allows me to really dig in there and kind of help it get the 90 a little bit, not faster, but cleaner and pushing into that metal. There's a booger to get on there. We're going to touch the die. Let it kind of sink into it. 1, 2. And this one we're really gonna keep sinking it down. So we're gonna go 3.5 on that first one, and then we'll just keep doing some half turns as we go more and more into it. This right here is going to start looking like that, or it kind of does look like it now. Left these flanges not completely at a 90. I can take and tap it over with a dolly if I need it, dolly and hammer if I need to. But the idea is this is going to start setting. Oh, that's upside down. There it is. So I'm going to be able to get this inside of there by trimming off, or whatever I need. All right. Let's actually get it over to the car, and we're gonna look at it over there. Now, not sure I could take you guys with me to this car because, well, it's not at my house. And who knows if other people like being videoed. So I'll cut you in and out of here, but we're gonna take this over to the car and then see what we can do from there. All right, I just got back from putting it on the car, and well, out here it looks pretty good, right? You can see all this detail in here, and on the car though, it looks like it's just like we just shoved a piece of corrugated metal pretty much behind it, and well, it's got no depth in it. Need to take out some of these, maybe lengthen out the ribs in between, distance in between the ribs, and do some solid in here. So we're gonna put that one to the side because we don't like that. Does not look right. It needs some more detail in it. Just going up and down on everything isn't the way to do it. So let's get another piece of metal. Let's take another quick measurement and draw out something else. Okay, so I got my panel cut back out. Kind of got the lines of the width, and then this is the center. I need to get this shape into it first. Trying to shrink out the other one was not working as well as I wanted it to. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and run this through the English wheel, try to start getting that contour. Already kind of started it, and you can see it starting to kind of take a little bit of shape here, but still have, well, a ways to go. All right, I didn't like the way the center piece here, the peak of it was close to too close. It was too close to the first crease for me. So I want to move that crease out to maybe a 1/2 inch or so, 3/4. Let's see what 3/4 looks like off of that, and kind of go play with it from there. Okay, so now we've widened that in. Now I want to do some sort of smooth texture here to where none of these are rolled on the outside and on the bottom. And then we're going to make some verticals this way. I'll show you. Okay, so instead of the corrugated metal that we had that look in there, we went ahead and just made it look like this. Smooth the bottom, smooth the top, just two little inlays and the peak, which comes out a whole lot better than this thing. Yep. Now we'll do a little shrink on the side here. Shrink that side down, and hopefully it inlays. Hopefully. All right, guys, that is it. That is a wrap for today's video. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to show you guys that installed on the car. We took it over there at his house, kind of shrunk it down, got it laid nice in that grill insert. The only reason we're really making one of these is because he couldn't find his other one or broke the other one and couldn't really source a new old stock version of that. However, thumbs up, he did. He had somebody look for him. They ended up finding the stock version of this, and that's what he's gonna go with. His car, he can do whatever he wants to that thing. But hopefully you liked the video. You saw something in there you liked. I don't know, you learned something. I don't know. Either way, guys, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. If you are subscribed, share this out. Hit that like button, hit that dislike button. I don't care, hit one of them. Throw a comment out there and let me know you guys are out there. Let me know what you think about these videos. Once again, thanks a lot. We will see you guys next time.